Hi, my name is Lisa and I'm an independent representative with the company Agnes and Dora. I am going to tell you a little bit about why I got started with this company. And for those of you that know me that are watching this, I know it's a little bit confusing, so I'm going to explain a little bit more. So I have to first make a confession that I have been most of my life a little bit fashion challenged. So for people that know me, this is definitely kind of a surprise, I guess, to say the least. So I hope you can hear me okay. I'm outdoors because my house is really dark and I don't have anywhere that's not chaotic. But today Mother Nature is giving us the wind, which hopefully won't be too loud. So I'm going to try and keep this short, however, and I do have my computer, so I may look down once in a while, and bugs are itching me or biting me, so I might scratch them. I apologize. This is not going to be a perfect video, but what in life is perfect? So I'm just going to tell a little bit about myself and why I got started on this journey. So like I said earlier, I have been a bit fashion challenged for most of my life. I grew up in a suburb of Chicago where I spent most of my days with boys, and we beat the crap out of each other, and we played games like kick the can, and we dug sandboxes and made houses for our Star Wars figures. So that's what I grew up with. I grew up being a tomboy, and to be honest, I still am. I love the outdoors. I love digging in the dirt. In fact, today, most of the day, I was in my garden weeding and finally getting it planted, which is kind of late. So that's who I've been and still am. I also, for most of my career, or actually many jobs I've had throughout my life have either required that I wear a uniform, which is great because you don't have to think about it, or that function was definitely over fashion. I'm a snowboard instructor, so it's very important that I stay warm, and I've also done landscaping, and so I certainly needed clothes that were more about not getting cut or bruised and staying warm or not warm or whatever. So that's been most of my life. Fashion just wasn't something that I really honestly had to think about. And for most of my life, I also didn't pretend to care. But secretly, deep down, I was always a little bit envious of women that could just walk out the door and they always looked good. And some of them had to really try and some of them didn't. And it was kind of always something I wanted to maybe be good at. So that's kind of a little bit about my fashion. Oh, and most of my life I was also a stay-at-home mom, and I homeschooled my 2 children. So to be honest, sweatpants and t-shirts were a large part of what I wore. If I left the house, it was, that's when I made some sort of attempt, but usually I didn't have to try hard. So that's kind of where that started. So however, life changed for me. I still have 2 children at home, but I did go through a divorce, and through all of that, I'm gonna look at my notes because I forgot what I was talking about. I met a man, and life changed. And if one thing I've learned is life changes. Sometimes for the unexpected, sometimes for the expected, and life changed for me. So, in a good way. Together with this man, Randy, that I met, we run a photography business, and we do a lot of art shows. And this requires that I look a little more put together at times. We do art shows and art openings and weddings, and I can't really wear sweatpants to a wedding. I mean, I can, but, kind of frowned upon. So this realization kind of hit me one day when we had a wedding to go to, and I looked in my closet, and as normal, it was a disaster, filled with clothes that fit and don't fit, and ones that I hang on to because someday I'm going to fit into it, or someday I'm going to figure out how to wear that one shirt that I love, but I can't find the pants or whatever. And I panicked. I seriously panicked as I realized I had nothing to wear that was gonna make me feel good about myself. I have gained some weight recently, and so nothing really fits like it did, and I was just bummed, you know? I guess bummed, but kind of ticked at myself, and I decided that it was time I kind of get my crap together and figure this out. And so I started to think a little bit more about fashion. And I knew some of my friends that looked good, and I started paying more attention to kind of what they were wearing. And the ones that I admired were the ones that looked like they didn't have to try very hard. So back to that. So that was my first reason, fashion and my desire to kind of look put together and not have to try and have nobody realize how challenged I am when it comes to this. So that was one. Number two was security. Again, divorce. Didn't think it would happen. It did. And as a stay-at-home mom and a woman who basically had many part-time jobs, I was financially so thankfully I'm pretty resourceful, and I've been able to get through it. And then I met Randy, we do this business together, and it is a success, and we have fun, and it's not something I'm gonna quit because I love it. We enjoy what we do. It does take up a lot of my time though. But what is making me start another business on top of this is that I woke up in the middle one night and I panicked again, and it was more about what if something happened to Randy. He is the main photographer. He is the main guy that makes this run. I do a lot of the behind the scenes. I take care of the website. I take care of all this other stuff. But when it comes down to it, he's the one that holds the camera most of the time. I do take some pictures, but he edits them. So if he were to get injured or sick or die, I mean, I know that sounds horrible, but it's life, it's truth, it happens. I would again be in a position where I would not be able to take care of myself, and I would have to probably go out and scramble for a job. So I didn't want that. I don't want that. I like to feel that security. I like to feel in control of my own destiny. So bring this all back together, and this past spring, after I was watching friends of mine, after I started to think about what kind of business could I have revolve around my already crazy hectic lifestyle. There is another place that I work that I kind of wanted to work for this summer, but when we actually sat down and talked about my availability, oh my gosh, it's getting windy and the clouds are starting to get kind of dark. I may have to wrap this up. I realized that I could really only work, you know, like when Venus and Mars aligned in certain months on probably Wednesdays, and really it was not going to work out so well for them to hire me. So in order to do the business that we have, I needed to find something that I could do that was very, very flexible. So put all these things together, wanting security, wanting to maybe be a little bit more fashionable, and needing, honestly, another extra income. I mean, does it hurt? So I ran into LuLaRoe, I hope I'm saying that right, and started joining some of their groups, started watching some of it because some of my friends were wearing it, and the styles, some of the dresses were super cute, and I thought, that's easy, I could do that. By the way, I love dresses because you don't have to match anything. You whip one on and people think you look good. And this is one of my dresses. It's one of my favorite prints. I love it. Anyway, so I started looking into becoming a consultant for LuLaRoe. And then I realized how expensive it was. So then I wasn't anymore. And a couple months went by, and then I started looking again. And in the meantime, when I was looking again, I came across Agnes and Dora. And I started to research that company and read more and more about it and blah, 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 blah. That's what I chose. So I went into the queue, and on May 19th, I entered into oh wow, that was not good. On May 19th, I signed my contract and am now an official representative. My inventory comes hopefully next week, and I'm excited to see what I get and show everybody and to sell some darn good clothes. So ultimately, why did I choose Agnes and Dora? I'm not going to bash another company because there is no reason to. They're a good, solid company and people love them, and it's great. I believe we should all have choices. But ultimately, here's why I chose to go with Agnes and Dora. One, the price to start up was more affordable. I had limited income and means, so it was important to me not to spend too much, and Agnes and Dora startup was cheaper. So for me, that was one reason. Two, it seemed to me that the sizing was a little bit more consistent throughout all of the styles, and which seemed to be less confusing to me, and I confuse easy. So I wanted not to be confused, and I didn't want to be confusing to my customers. So that was two. So three, I am a bit of a control freak. And so when I found out that you can choose what styles, sizes, and patterns you wanted, this Randy going into the house, that was important to me as well. I wanted to be able to be in control of what I ordered. Now the first order is your inventory, and that you do have 2 kits to choose from, and they pretty much give you what they think you need to start. So that was important to me. Number four, constantly staying on trend and releasing new styles accordingly. So they have new styles being released constantly, so that's kind of fun. 5, there's a little less patterns that are out there, and solid colors is kind of also what I like. And so for people like me who want ease, I like basics. So that I liked. Let's see. 6, we're on 6 already? 6, security. Yep. 7, there are less consultants. So that was important too. If I'm gonna start a business, I kinda like to be, one of the first ones. 8, I wanted the flexibility to work around my schedule, as crazy as it is. Yeah. 9, there's also a low monthly quota to stay active, and that was important to me because there's going to be months I just can't be as active as I would like to be because I'm busy with life and other things. So it was important to me as well. And then 10, the clothes are actually comfortable. I do like the fabrics. I do like the styles. I actually do like them. So that was important, and I can wear them and oh, it's getting darker, and actually feel put together. That's kind of the goal. So here I am about to start this new journey. I'm excited, I'm terrified, but I'm all right. I don't fear failure, so I think I'm gonna do okay with this. Probably more slow and steady than some, just because this, again, is a busy time, and I'm okay with it going slow. So I guess that's all. Those are my reasons why. For those of you that know me, I hope it makes more sense now. And for people that don't know me, and maybe you're just a simple gal too, it might make sense to you. So I do have a website. It's larsadoesfashion.com, and I guess I'll say why I'm called that another time. So until then, be well and have a great day. Bye.